No. That man is needed. What I mean by that is that if we have five, no, 10 elves, let's say no too much, I don't know, 10 elves, but then everybody has white color, it's gonna be too cold. But if there are many other different elves having different colors, that's gonna be nice. That's what I meant. But white color, it's nice to have one.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah. Mm, so today we were supposed to talk about game versus lifestyle. Do you guys know Tinder? I'm sure you know. Maybe some people not. Let's look up Tinder. Um, then you'll see that Tinder chose lifestyle as their category, but there's apparently dating category. So when you click dating, Bumble, Hinge, Badoo, uh, OkCupid, many other apps all go for dating category, but Tinder is one of the uh, one of the unique dating apps that go for lifestyle. That's because they want to identify themselves as a lifestyle application, lifestyle service. So they want to tell their brand story as dating is not something special. Dating is something very closely integrated in our life, and when we consider that as a lifestyle, it's apparently there's much greater chance that we will use every day and in our daily life. When we think about game, Microsoft acquired Blizzard, but how many hours would you think about Blizzard games, let's say Diablo or StarCraft, or how much hours? Actually, I updated this part, the Korean Metaverse. I realized that I was too lazy. Uh, how many hours? How many hours do you think that Blizzard games fans spend outside their game hours? How much do you believe they would integrate the story and philosophy of the game world, and style from that world? Oh, the sentence is a bit weird. How much do you believe they would integrate the story and philosophy of the game world and style from that world? It makes sense. Into their lives? Not so much because it's game. And when you turn off Oculus Quest, when you take off the VR glass, you're not gonna think anymore about the game because the game requires a lot of focus. What I mean by the advantage over Microsoft here is that the Korean waves makes unique value proposition here. Well, not merely about entertainment, it will extend this reach as the lifestyle in the metaverse as it happened in the real world. What it means by that is that the Korean wave, the Korean lifestyle in the metaverse is not really separate from what you experience as a Korean lifestyle in the real world. You in the real world go to a Korean restaurant or watch Korean movie, watch Korean YouTube. This it's just also a virtual world, but um, your real life and virtual life, the boundary, the border becomes very vague when it comes to the Korean wave in comparison to Blizzard game, StarCraft and Diablo. That's what I mean by here. Game versus lifestyle. We will implement a very uh, game-like features or game-like um, aspects in the Koolpeace world. So eventually, the metaverse is about imagination of the content for the content and gaming aspects of content because it's like even if you go to e-commerce shop, there was only one functionality: browsing and buy what you want. But in the metaverse shop, you have countless choices. You can browse the clothes. The example I made the last time, you can browse, you can explore the store. So it's basically virtually like a game, a shopping game, because of thanks to the unlimited choices. So it's gonna be like a game, but um, where is it? I believe I failed to write. I added this example to convince you that the taste is only half. Why Korean food becoming popular? The taste is only half. The other half is that they wanna indulge themselves into the Korean lifestyle, and they wanna follow the Korean lifestyle, which is a fancy. Did I mention this? Korean lifestyle. I think I failed to mention this. They because they admire the Korean lifestyle and they desire to follow the Korean lifestyle. What's this? Okay, never mind. So that's what we need to focus on when we compare game versus lifestyle, because we are also about the game, just like any other metaverse platforms. We have to keep in mind that we are about the lifestyle, and that gives us a unique advantage and opportunities. Because uh, I'm getting back again and again, but metaverse is about lifestyle. No, new life. Because the metaverse is about providing a new lifestyle, new space experiences, and new feeling experiences. When metaverse is about providing new experience and new lifestyle, this aligns very well with the Korean wave. That's my observation, which uh, which is solely based on my ground. So you will never see this kind of claim elsewhere. So you may hear that that claim is wrong, but that's my ground. And Abhinav's question on advantage and centralization on safeguarding against, it's like because we are kind of centralized. Uh, can we protect ourselves or protect our users from potential issues from blockchains? We'll talk about 51% attack later, but in other sense, yes, it is because uh, because as we discussed here, not this part. So you have to understand that uh, blockchain technologies are currently not perfect, not and not, which means not 100% secure, not 100% decentralized, not 100% uh, safe. But mostly it's gonna be safe. You lose money if you're extremely unlucky, but there is a chance, which means that uh, there is a chance that you lose money. The reason why only Bitcoin can be recommended to others for or to acquaintances for oh, bad bad English acquaintance uh, for never mind acquaintance for I'll fix later. Bitcoin can be recommend only Bitcoin can be recommended for the reference for uh, investment. Ethereum, good investment, higher risk, higher return. I mean, Ethereum is obviously the ranked number two in the cryptocurrency market, so it's very safe. But there is a risk you lose money when Ethereum loses its position. But anyway, what I wanted to say here is that it's not perfect technology, not 100% secure, not 100% safe, not 100% uh, decentralized. Because of this, mm, what's Ethereum's risk? So virtually the majority of DeFi uh, is on the Ethereum network, and because we are on the Polygon network, Koolpeace, uh, Polygon, and because Polygon is on relying on Ethereum, there is a risk for our side as well. So the way we handle is that as a centralized platform. mm, so I already mentioned here, we'll handle all the blockchain things here on Duende. So we have our database here. So whenever things happen, we change the blockchain. Let's say that Ethereum started Ethereum started to be replaced by some other blockchain. It was hacked. It's not going to happen, but it was hacked. With the database we have here, we're gonna immediately migrate to Polkadot or Solana. That's our option, because we're not for the decentral land. They have no choice. They lose assets here. They lose assets on the blockchain, and this will be viewed as ideal for cryptocurrency maniacs, enthusiasts, because they really worship the decentralization. and they're not gonna believe in the duende, centralized duende concept. But from our side, based on the assumption that we are honest, this is the issue for them. How do we trust you if you're honest? Based on the base, but we are all working on this as a test assignment, and we'll be working on this, and we'll be relying on this. So based on the assumption we're all honest, we have better choice, better option when things happen to the Ethereum blockchain, which is unlikely to happen, but it may happen. In that case, it was hacked or it was replaced, the new technology came up, then we simply migrate to another blockchain. And we linked our database here to the other blockchain. Does that make sense? I hope you got this point. I mean, did that answer your question?
Ah, yes, yes, I understood. It's simply jumping over to something else in case we
Yes,
feel a risk.
yes, that's right. So it's like we rely on, it's not the same analogy, but we don't rely on any specific platform. We use React Native, we use web. So we overlay we position ourselves more vague and rough area, so that if Apple fails, which is unlikely to happen, but if Apple fails or Google fails, we move on to jump onto another platform. It's like a similar analogy. But in the blockchain world, that's more likely to happen than in the real world, Google or Apple fail. And understanding DAO community and economy. So Uh, I explained here. On decentral land, you vote using your mana token. Where is it? So they have creator economy and sharing economy. So they use, just like us, we use uh, Koolpeace Cool. We use Cool, but they use mana in their inside ecos. It's like mileage. In a mileage, you have for your airline, mileage for airline. But without blockchain, you cannot take the mileage out from that airline, right? So that was a with blockchain, that was a transfer of the property right. When the airline fails, you lose your mileage. When Decentraland fail, you're not gonna lose mana, but obviously because mana will be worthless. Uh, that's another story. But that even if your account was closed from the airline, you can sell your airline mileage by taking the airline mileage uh, to the outside wallet or exchanges, and you can sell it. That's the first part, the transfer of property ownership. And the second part, the hyper interconnectivity. We mentioned this, two um, where two major characteristics of the metaverse. What what are the whole points of the metaverse? Let me see. This not PowerPoint. This slide deck became really big, like 60 somewhat slides. I never expected this to be really big, this much big. The whole point of metaverse, hyper interconnectivity, property ownership. And next, if we add one more thing, governance, governance. So I made an example with Apple and Lee Kuan Yew, but we all know that uh, Singapore is a very wealthy nation with 60,000 GDP per capita. But not everyone wants to live in Singapore, especially during the Lee Kuan Yew era, during the development and the dictatorship were going on. After that, you might choose to live in, immigrate to Singapore, despite it still suffering from worst low press freedom, 106 press freedom. They are still rich people because thanks to like taking advantage of low tax, no capital gain tax, etc. But it's not for everyone, and in general, people want. Uh, where did I mention this? When this value is started to pursue, most will follow this path. Just like almost every country in this world now is democratic society. And but in general, users will leave for a freer democratic community and more sharing content creator economy. Content creator economy. More sharing content creator economy. So they will in the end, if at final picture, because everyone else is doing something like Decentraland, they have their mana, they have some part of the ownership of the world, Decentraland, and they will be able to vote for some important or some trivial decisions in the Decentraland. They will be the whole world will be affected by this democratic community, which is called DAO, decentralized autonomous organization. And big tech, Google and Apple will be affected. So they will change their policies, such as like uh, Google's YouTube policy, Facebook's Instagram sharing revenue sharing policies. So they will. Uh, where is their Lee Kuan Yew? Even big techs will revise their uh, revenue sharing policy, because by birth, by nature, this design is more beneficial to content creators and to users. It's like this, for Apple and Google. If Apple and Google goes well, who's most benefited? Shareholders are the ones who benefit the most, because they hold the Apple shares, Apple stocks, and if Apple is going well, better, then Apple stock uh, goes up. And how much is Apple stock price now? It should be the total 3 trillion, right? Valuation of Apple. It should be 3 trillion. Yeah. So January 3rd, Apple becomes first U.S. company to reach 3 trillion market cap. So Apple is valued for 3 trillion. But when Apple is doing better and better. Apple gets better, and Apple's value becomes higher and higher. The those who benefit most are shareholders and users, Apple users. I was so loyal to Apple. I use iPhone, I use Apple MacBook, I always use Apple iCloud, but I don't share benefits that Apple share with stock shareholders. At this moment, people don't have this complaints against Apple. They are just satisfied with being Apple users. But as they are seeing, it's just like going back hundreds of years ago. Every country there was king. There was no democracy. So if there was a good king, they were all satisfied with their kingdom. But as they see more and more democratic nations, and now virtually every country is free democratic society. And if you were asked, would you want to go back to Singapore's dictatorship days? It's not exactly dictatorship, but almost governed by one person, one great person, and that guy will lead you guys to a great road. Would you would you prefer it, or would you live in a rather like a poor country but more democratic? And people will be divided because they've already seen these democratic society. So it's gonna be the same in the future when people and all the organizations and companies have witnessed the governance, the transfer of the governance right from the big centralized owners such as shareholders or founders, CEOs, C-level, and employers. They will see this governance is transferred to the users. So when we think about this in terms of Koolpeace holders will be able to Koolpeace cool holders will be able to share the revenues benefited from Koolpeace by because cool price will go up if the Koolpeace community gets bigger and bigger. Not only that, they will be able to participate in some not not the most important decisions, but some decisions they will be able to vote in their community. So that's the DAO. That's DAO part of Web3. Does anybody have questions when it comes to this? So DAO is like a in the future, building building and founding a community is going to be like building a government or country nation from the beginning. So there were founders of the nation and they govern most of the things in the beginning. But as time goes on, they will have to release their right, not right, release their a privilege as a founder of the nation, because the nation is not owned by anybody. The nation is owned by its citizens. My point of view is that the corporations, founding company, founding organizations, and founding country, the concept will be the paradigm will be shifted towards this DAO system. Oh, I realized that I just realized that I was sharing a wrong screen. Man, where's the DAO? Anybody have a question in regards to this? So because this system is so good, despite the technological and limitations at this moment, because we're not fully decentralized, we're not fully secured. I guess DAO is somewhere above. But does anybody have a question in regards to this? If you don't have a question, um, we have to think. So on Koolpeace DAO, if you have they are going to be mostly K fans, and we have to think if these user bases are overlapped. Do they overlap? What do you think? My opinion, they don't overlap very well. Is disadvantage. My perception is crypto enthusiasts, believers in Bitcoin, uh, Ethereum, Web 3, DAO, EFI, DAO, A fans. Who are they? Uh, Army, Army, don't say Army, BTS fans, K-pop fans, K-pop listeners, K-drama watchers. Mm, yeah, they are actually majority. What do you think? Do they overlap?
I think the audience will overlap, but it will be very less, like negligible.
Okay, so like this.
Actually, chances of overlapping is higher when it depends on the what country we're looking at. If it's South Korea, then obviously there are people who love all K-pop, K-drama, and most of them, if some of them are interested in this crypto, then yes, overlap is higher at the point of origin. Actually,
Hmm. That's a good point also to discuss, but these guys, international. Sorry, international. I mean, we're not limiting to international, but you have to keep in mind that uh, K fans are more than now 100 million, 100 million, and how many are South Korean population? They are South Korean population. It should be like a 50 million. Yeah, 50 million. So it's more than twice. K fans is officially this number. Actually, I shared here. I shared in learning material global Hallyu trend. Hallyu is the Korean wave. Images associated with Korea: K-pop, Korean food, IT, Hallyu star, drama. Positivity after of Korea after, this is important, after experiencing Hallyu. It's not the first impression. But we can see that India is very top the list. After experiencing Hallyu, 77% view Korea very positively. Uh, Here, number of Hallyu fans worldwide hit 100 million. It was 2021, but the figures were based on online membership data from Hallyu fan clubs. But there are many who don't go online clubs. They just watch YouTube. They just watch drama from Viki. Uh, they just listen to K-pop, not necessarily K-pop online club fans. So there's no exact number, but it's definitely much more than 100 million. So it should be two times or triple, two or triple, twofold or triple than South Korean uh, times than South Korean population. That's the market we are looking at. We're looking into. So getting back to Abhinav's opinion, there are many crypto investors. Uh, I think not. I think based on based on cryptocurrency exchange account numbers, it is expected that 20 more than 20% of South Koreans have an account at crypto exchange, one of big four crypto exchanges. So more than 20% invest in cryptocurrency, but they are not knowledgeable in crypto because they just use a convenient centralized crypto exchange rather than going to DeFi, Web3. So they have a little bit of knowledge in crypto, but not much in K-pop, K-drama. Uh, Actually, I have to say that in Korea, if you're a big fan of K-pop, uh, people will look down on you for being too childish, for like a K-pop too only for girls, crazy girls who looking for their oppas. Oppa meaning that older brother in Korean. But what else? Who else has other opinion? So it's hard to. I mean, they are not our primary target. Koreans who live in Korea. Our targets are international fans who outnumber the South Korean population by 2 or 3 times. They are our targets. Anybody has a different opinion? And I share the demographic here. AG was updated. If you see here, main male teen numbers are one less than one tenth of female teens, and male 20s are like less than one fifth of female 20s. So our users are largely female teens and female 20s. And when we think that teens are only 18 and 19 in this app, of course they might be like a 15, 16, but there was no choice for them. So they might have chosen like a 18, but teens are officially only 18 and 19 here. So it's a remarkable number, and our demographic is very very young, very young. And uh, this is I mentioned that this is a unique advantage. Nowhere else in the world, including our real life, we will be able to see that girls are seeking for dating over boys like this crazy. Um, and I also mentioned that where there are girls, guys come. So we don't need to worry about guys. So we need to focus on this target. Oh, wrong screen. This target, and we need to identify who they are and will they overlap well here. And if they don't overlap, so it's proven that some people download the Korean dating app and possibly Koolpeace. So how we are going to guide them through here? This is our homework. And when you design something like UI or 3D access, you need to keep in mind our user base, uh, who are these ones. I mean, I'm not saying that you should make it like a totally girlish, totally for female, but it's gotta be female friendly. It's gotta be female friendly. That's what I want. That's what I assume. What I would assume. If you have different opinion, please share. We have plenty of time today. 16 more minutes. What do you think? We have no idea. Yeah, that's actually that's the reason why I'm the founder. And nobody's doing this, and nobody has good understanding. I just mentioned that in Korea, smart guys, especially smart guys who went to like a good college, prestigious colleges, they have never been interested in K-pop stars, and they think that watching drama waste of time. Going to a K-pop concert and going crazy, that's a waste of time for them. So they especially for them, it's really a shame when people think about Korea. They think K-pop, that it's a shame for them. Um, but we need to think in a different perspective. That when is it really necessarily a waste of time? It's there's no criteria, especially when it comes to entertainment. We all have different taste and different taste and different preference. And if that really helps the world to have uh, world citizens to be happier and be more satisfied with their spare time as a hobby, I don't think I don't see anything wrong from this. But anyway, going back, it's became off topic. The smart guys in Korea really look down on the Korean wave, and they don't really, uh, not many of them really see a business opportunity from this Korean wave side. They still consider that this is going to be temporary, and BTS was just luck. Squid Game was just the luck, but from my perspective, it's not just a one-time luck. It's gonna continue, and you are here because you believe that as well. If you don't believe this, you should move to another, better, more promising company because it's deemed to be a failure. What do you think? Now I'm concerned with next week because we're going for total discussion base. Uh, but if we don't have more uh, topics or discussions for the next week, we may end the general meeting earlier than expected. I'm talking about the next week. But I guess we'll start to discuss from today and tomorrow and continue to go on the rest of January, and then I believe we'll have weekly general meeting. Weekly general meeting. One like a Monday, every Monday, and Friday. No, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're not gonna have a general meeting, so you'll be free after 6 p.m. Yeah, you have no opinion. That's as I said. That's why I'm the founder, and that's why you've never seen anybody who's claimed to start the Korean metaverse. There are some who understand this. There are some who understand this, and there are many who understand this. But there are not many who try to integrate these two domains.
Can I say something?
Of course, yes.
Okay. So according to the demographic, we also saw that people in their 40s and 30s are also. Uh, I mean, they use these stuffs a lot.
Yeah.
But the thing is, by the time we are a big company, let's say in 4 or 5 years,
Yeah.
uh, those people in their 30s
Mhm.
will uh, might have shifted to their 40s. So there's a better chance that uh, I guess younger people who were interested in this K-pop and K-drama and all, they carried that obsession. Even after a certain amount of time has passed,
Mhm.
so we will definitely have more people interested in this.
Uh, no. Yes or no? Yes or no? Uh, Based on my experience, after some years of indulgence in the Korean wave, they graduate the, from the Korean wave and they pursue because they become busy with their college life, professional life. College not so much, but professional life. So many of the Korean wave fans become less interested in the Korean wave after 5 years. Let's say after 5 years, they are still interested in the Korean culture in general, and they are very positive to the Korean wave, the Korean culture in Korea in general. But they don't really follow up with the newest K-pop and K-drama headline. So to answer your question, uh, uh, they are so the teenagers and 20s are the biggest part of our demographic. They will get older. They will get older like this. No, am I doing right? Okay, they will get older. So you are talking about the demographic shift. What I'm saying, what I'm telling you that when they are shifted to here, we'll have even more teenagers and 20s. So the bell shape will be maintained as the same as of now. It's just that we'll have this at this moment we have teenagers and 20s. They will be shifted to 20s and 30s. But at that moment, we'll have even more teenagers and 20s. So the bell shape will be maintained. But in regards to your another question, to the other question, we definitely need to take care of 30s and 40s as well. But what I'm saying here is that so they are like a 2000, 3000. Is it like a 20,000, 20,000 somewhere? So we need some focus at least in the beginning. We cannot prepare everything from the beginning and hey everything is ready here come here. We have to we have to laser focus in the beginning because let's say because you're a 3D designer. Let's speak in terms of 3D design. In terms of 3D design, so we are talking about having a few elves. We may have 20 elves, but we're not going to create 20 elves from the beginning. So let's say we'll have 10 elves or 5 elves. Let's say 5 elves, 6 elves. Then we need to focus on what kind of elves are really important to have at this beginning stage. And then we launch the product first. And then we see what users choose. Oh, I mean, I've created like a 7 elves among them. This elf has been chosen by the largest number of people. Then we have better insight. That's a lean startup, and that's also lean UX. Uh, so lean UX is about launch first and obtain insight from our users before not by pre-research. So most UX research is based on pre-research, but lean UX is like after launch. After launch, based on our user behavior, we know that our users selected one of this elf among 7 elf Abhinav created. So Abhinav will have better insight. Oh, this elf was chosen by our users. So for the future elf, I better more focus on this elf while still releasing, showcasing, or offering, providing other elf for 40s, 50s, 30s. So we need focus, especially in the beginning, because we cannot launch with 100 elves. We're gonna launch with a few elves. So that's why we need a focus. Buildings the same, Korean buildings and Korean rooms. We're gonna have only a few rooms, 3D rooms for chatting, group chat. We're gonna have only a few rooms, and we're gonna have more and more rooms. Maybe thirds will want to choose different room, but that's not our priority. We might have, if we have 10 rooms, we might offer one room for 30s and 40s, but not 5 rooms out of 10. Does that make sense? Rohan said, yes, in future we have more teenagers as teens are more focusing on the new tech and activities. Exactly. Exactly. And I believe teens are highly adaptive. So I believe this transition, this guidance should be easier for them than 30s and 40s. 40s will give up when they are guided. Oh, do I need login for Koolpeace? I'm not gonna do this. 30s and 40s, there will be a higher chance for that. But for teens, they will be willing to challenge the new technologies. Yes, it makes sense. I agree with that. We have 4 more minutes. Any more questions or opinions? If you don't have, you can chat anything. Nobody's chatting. So shall we end the meeting? So from tomorrow Friday, it's gonna be totally discussion based. So you guys go to the slide again and bring your discussion topic like by going to the slide. Meeting would be kind of long, right? And because you already listened one time, when you review the slide, you'll be able to recall the content of the class. So after reviewing the slide, you bring your own uh, discussion topic, and we can discuss from tomorrow. Okay, you may go. Bye bye. Uh, for the full time members, please reserve your time slot for one-on-one meeting. Bye bye.
Bye, guys.